Hi everyone, I'm Karamjit Singh from Digital News Asia and welcome to Building Tomorrow's Business Today, a three-part series brought to you by Maxis Business. Now across Malaysia, businesses are rewriting and rewiring the rules of growth using data, cloud and of course AI to build more connected, intelligent and resilient enterprises. Now this series will explore how that transformation is unfolding and what it takes to lead in a digital-first economy. Now, we're not going to be speaking in a vacuum. This report and the conversations we're going to have over the three-part series is actually inspired by an IDC 2025 CEO Outlook report commissioned by Maxis Business, which examines how Malaysian enterprises are progressing and where the biggest opportunities lie. That's very important. In this first episode, we're going to set the foundation, the groundwork, looking at where Malaysia stands in its digital and AI journey, how leaders are breaking ahead, and what it takes to future-proof growth in today's business landscape. Joining me is Mr. Prateek Pashine, Chief Enterprise Business Officer at Maxis, who's been at the forefront of helping Malaysian enterprises accelerate their digital transformation. Prateek, great to have you here. So let's start with the big picture, right? Based on this IDC study, where do Malaysian enterprises stand today in their digital and AI journey compared to peers in the region?
So thank you, Karam, for the introduction and for contextualizing the importance of this topic.
Yep.
Numbers, as you can see, tell a clear story. Malaysia is lagging behind Southeast Asian peers in terms of digital maturity.
Okay.
IDC defines the evolution of enterprises into the digital maturity curve by way of 4 stages, if you will. Moving from nascent to developing to enhancing to leading. Close to 85% of the businesses in Malaysia are in the early stage.
That high, nascent. Wow, 85%.
Compared to some of the others. And clearly, be it Singapore or Indonesia or Thailand, they are towards the upper side of this evolution or adoption. We see a lot lesser companies in the nascent stage in other countries compared to what we see in Malaysia.
It gives us a sense of how far Malaysia has come, but where the real gaps are also. Now let's maybe look a little deeper. What are the key differences you're seeing, right, between companies that are still developing digitally versus those that are already digital leaders, Prateek?
Very clear indicator of the focus that a developing or the nascent company is deploying in terms of their digital adoption versus the developed or the slightly more mature companies. The focus of developing companies tend to be on priorities which are foundational improvements. Some process improvements, some productivity improvement, cost efficiency.
Always, yes.
However, the more developed companies we see clearly adopting tools which are towards creating new business models, customer centricity, creating better customer experiences. If most of the priorities of the companies are towards the cost efficiency, foundational improvement areas, then you automatically know that you're at the early stage of the digital adoption compared to some of those who are creating new business models using digital and AI.
So where you're doing, instead of being stuck in incremental improvements, right, in cost or efficiency, you're trying to leapfrog and make a bigger leap, right, in revenue generation.
Absolutely. And that's where it moves, the focus moves from an efficiency mindset to a growth mindset.
Growth mindset. And a winning mindset, right?
Absolutely.
Instead of being a defensive mindset. Okay. Those are valuable lessons, right? Especially for organizations trying to move from efficiency to true innovation. If you had to leave our viewers with some key takeaways, Prateek, today, right? In order to future-proof growth, what would these key takeaways be?
So I would break this into what I would call as 4 pillars. Pillar number 1, digital business model. Are you reimagining businesses keeping digital first? Not tweaking existing models, but creating a new way of connecting with customers, selling products, interacting with your suppliers. So that's a new digital business model. That's 1. Number 2, data. If we do not use data as a strategic asset, both in terms of learning customer behavior and creating products, then we will not be able to put that foundation in place. So data as a strategic asset is a key pillar in maturing to a digitally mature organization. 3, readiness. And readiness in terms of organization, platform, infrastructure. So do we have tweaking existing processes or are we reimagining processes? Are we tweaking workflows or we are completely thinking of them afresh? Have we cloudified our infrastructure enough to leverage data, to leverage some of the newer technologies. And fourth, this won't be complete unless our workforce is digitally and AI ready. It is very important that we train, equip ourselves and educate our teams, our workforce to think AI first. In a nutshell, digital business models, data, operations and workforce. These four pillars are required to make sure the companies adopt and ride the digital tools, digital technologies and AI.
Ride it to be winners, right? And not
Absolutely.
be swamped by the wave, right?
That's where the opportunity lies. AI is new, it's still developing.
That's a good
and
thing, yeah.
It's a great opportunity to leapfrog some of the legacy technologies and platforms, because AI is pretty new and it allows businesses in Malaysia to be at the forefront, leveraging these tools to be winners in their respective businesses.
Thank you very much, Prateek, for sharing those perspectives, right, on how Malaysia can accelerate its digital growth. To dive deeper into the findings from the IDC CEO Outlook report commissioned by Maxis, check out the link in the comment section below. I'm Karamjit Singh. Thank you for watching and join us again in the next episode of Building Tomorrow's Business Today, where we continue exploring how innovation and connectivity are shaping Malaysia's business future.